In moving forward with the Just Get Me Started series, we're going to look at ball flight and we're going to talk about distance first. TrackMan uses the term carry to talk about how far your golf ball flies in the air to an imagined carry flat landing area, and that's important because it compensates for a shot that might hit an upslope before your ball reaches carry flat, and it also compensates for your ball going through carry flat and hitting a downslope. So you get accurate carry numbers when you use TrackMan. TrackMan uses the term total to talk about the distance that your ball goes after carry and calculated roll based on some of the other characteristics of your shot. The final distance related term is ball speed, and ball speed is measured in miles per hour right after impact. How fast is your ball leaving the club face right after impact? Moving a little further into ball flight, it's now time to talk about direction. TrackMan uses 4 terms to discuss the direction that your golf ball traveled in. The first one is launch direction. Launch direction uses your target line as a reference point and talks about the angle formed by where your golf ball flew relative to the target line. A ball that takes off to the left is going to be represented by a negative number. A ball that takes off to the right is going to be represented by a positive number. The next term, talking about the direction of your shot, is launch angle. Launch angle now talks about the direction of your shot with regard to height. A golf ball that's topped goes along the ground as a 0 launch angle. A golf ball that's hit with a driver is going to be somewhere in the 12-15 degree launch angle range. And with an iron, you're going to be somewhere up in the 20 to 25 degree launch angle range. Moving on, we have 2 more terms to talk about, side and side total. Side is how far your golf ball landed in feet from your target line. And side total is how far your golf ball is in feet after the carry plus a little bit of calculated roll. How far is that golf ball from the target line? As we push forward here talking about ball flight, it's now time to talk about spin. TrackMan measures spin in 2 different ways. It first measures spin rate, which is the speed at which your ball is rotating in terms of revolutions per minute. Clubs with higher loft tend to make the ball spin really fast. Clubs with lower loft make it spin, still spinning, but just a little bit more slowly. The other term that TrackMan uses to talk about the spin of the golf ball is spin axis. Is your spin axis tilted to the left, which would make the ball curve left? Is your spin axis tilted to the right, which would make it curve right? Or do you have a spin axis that is parallel to the horizon, which gives you a no curve ball flight? Okay, we're pushing ahead here, still talking about ball flight. We have 4 terms to discuss the flight of the golf ball. The first is hang time. Just like a punt in football, hang time simply means how long was your golf ball in the air when it landed at that carry flat landing area. After that, we have height. Height talks about how far your golf ball is in the air at the apex of its flight relative to the height that you hit the golf ball from. Moving on, we have landing angle. Landing angle talks about how steep your ball is coming down or how shallow it's coming down, and that obviously has a dramatic effect on whether your ball sits or rolls. And the final term discussing the flight of the golf ball is last data. Last data simply refers to how long did TrackMan see that golf ball as it flew through the air. We're about to finish up ball flight here. We have 2 more terms to talk about, and they both relate to test results. If you take a TrackMan combine or do an approach test, you're going to run into the term from pin. From pin, pretty self-explanatory, means how far did your ball land from your target in feet, measured in feet. The other term you're going to run into is score. Score compares how far your ball is from the target, but it also considers how long your shot was. In other words, if you missed your target by 5% of the total length of your shot, that's more accurate than missing your shot by 10% of the length of the shot. TrackMan gives you a score when you do a combine test after every single ball, gives you an average score for each club, and it gives you a score at the end of the entire combine test as well. Okay, that finalizes our discussion about ball flight. We're going to continue our Just Get Me Started series by exploring club delivery next.